Okay, let's talk van security for a moment. Now, there's no point in building up your van and placing all your tools, equipment, and valuables inside, and then relying on the factory door locks to secure those valuables. You might as well just send out the invitations to all the would-be thieves out there. Now, these vans are regularly used by contractors with very expensive tools and equipment, and also by van lifers, and they usually carry a lot of important documents such as passports. They have their laptops and cameras inside, and for those reasons these vans are regularly targeted by would-be thieves. Now, in order to protect your valuables and equipment, you're going to need to install some aftermarket locks on the exterior of your van, not only to protect your equipment and your valuables, but also to act as a deterrent to any would-be thieves. Now, the best way to do that is to install several layers of visible security deterrents. Not to necessarily prevent theft, because any determined thief will find a way in, but it's to make them think twice. Is it easier to get into this van, which has several layers of security, or the one down the road, which has none? Well, my theory is better them than me. You see, this is how it works. Thieves don't want to spend time, effort, and make a crap load of noise getting into your van, so what they'll do is they'll target the easier vans. So with that in mind, let me show you what I've done so far. Sorry, almost left you guys hanging. Now, I've been searching the internet for about 2 years now, trying to come up with a plan to secure these doors from the outside. And I've come up with the solution. Now, I'm not comfortable with drilling into my van, whether it's from the outside or the inside or the panels or the roof, to install a roof fan or side windows or anything. I'm just not comfortable drilling. So I wanted a solution where I didn't have to do any drilling and would still secure these doors. And I've come up with these locks here. These are made in the US. They're called Slick Locks, and they are pretty slick. These things are very robust. You get 2 of them in the package, along with 3 face plates to go with it, and you get 4 keys as well. Now, when you're putting these on, it does take a little bit of finagling to get them on, because you're going to have to remove the strike plates on the door locks, the back ones and the side one. And for that, you're going to need a T40 bit to remove the screws. So what I've done so far is I've installed the rear lock on the rear doors, and I'm going to install the side sliding door today and show you how easy this is to get done. So let's go to the back so I can show you what I've got done in the back, and then we'll come to the side door and we'll perform the installation here. So installing this lock on the back doors is a bit more complicated than the one on the side door, because you've got 2 plates which you need to install, and they have to line up perfectly so that the lock will fit. Now for that, I'm going to bring you a little closer so that you can have a better look here. Now what you're looking at here is this plate and this plate. And as you can see, we use the existing hardware that comes with the van to install these plates. Now this back door one here, you're going to have to cut out a little bit of this insulation here so that this plate can fit underneath and come out the other end. And then what happens is you don't tighten these screws up too hard, because you may need to move them a little bit so that these holes here line up perfectly. And once they do, then you can tighten them up as hard as you wish. So let me show what the finished product looks like. So as you can see now, those two holes line up perfectly. So the next step is to place the lock on there, and just to show you what the mechanism looks like, it looks like that. And once you stick the key here, drive this bolt in, it locks in through those two holes, and then you turn the key to secure it. The door isn't even moving. It doesn't even budge. That's how secure that lock is. Now, just to show you that the back door was actually unlocked with the existing lock, I'm going to take this lock back out, and there you go. So you can see how secure these locks truly are. Okay, so the first step in installing the plate on here is to remove this strike plate right here by removing these two T40 screws here. Okay, so now that you've got the strike plate removed, what you want to do is make sure you put the installation plate in there in the proper position. It can either go this way or it can go this way, but it has to fit the contour. It has to fit the contour right in here. And it's this way right here. Have a look. So now what I want to do is I want to reinstall the strike plate that goes there. Now I'm not going to tighten them as if it's going to stay there the way it is, because what I want to make sure is that the connection point, which is right here, clears the doorway when opening and closing. And so in order to do that, what you want to do is have a look to make sure as you're pulling the door down that it clears the entire way. Now what I'm going to do is go around the back side to make sure that it in fact does clear the entire door, which it does by about 1 millimeter, and that's all it requires. And now what I can do is go back and make sure that the plate is tightened and will remain in the position that it's in. All right, she's back in there nice and secure. And again, I just want to make sure, now that I've tightened it, to make sure that it is cleared of the doorway. And there you go. Perfect. Now what we're going to do is we're going to close the door, install the lock, and see what we come up with. All right, so now that the plate has been installed, all we need to do is place that groove right in, lock it, and there you go. secure. Now these things are actually made of tempered hardened steel, so in order to cut through this, it's going to take quite some time, and that's why I chose these locks. And it also comes with a rain protector from the lock so that no water can actually get inside there. Now I did get these on Amazon. You can buy them directly from the company down in the States, but I just happened to find them on Amazon.ca, and like I said earlier, they're not cheap. And for 2 locks and 4 keys and the 3 plates, ran me about $380 Canadian. So they're pretty pricey, but how much of a price can you stick on your valuables inside your van? Okay, so there you have it, folks. If you're looking to secure your back doors and your side sliding door, then these locks are an excellent piece of hardware to do that. Now, I'm not saying this is the only option out there. However, if you're not comfortable cutting or drilling into your van and installing other options, then these are the ones you're going to want to go with. But if you're comfortable doing that, then great, go ahead. If not, and you go with another option, have a professional install them for you, because once you cut or drill, there aren't any do-overs. You're stuck with it. Now, I want to be upfront with everyone out there. I'm not being sponsored by this company, nor have they sent me these locks for me to review them. I've purchased these locks on my own and installed them on my own. If you have any comments or if you have any questions, please leave them down below. Otherwise, hey, let's move on to the next level of security. Okay, so moving on to my next layer of security is my GPS tracking system, which I've installed as per my warning sticker right here, notifying any would-be thieves who wish to enter. Now, I'm not going to show you where I've installed it, because that would just simply defeat the entire purpose. Anyone watching this video will know where I've installed it. Just to let you know, it is important that you have some way of tracking your vehicle should it ever be stolen. All right, since we now have the slick locks on the back doors and the side sliding door, we're going to move on with the security of this van, and the next step is going to be the gas cap. Now, let me bring you a little closer here so you can all see this. Okay, so as you can see here, we have a little recess right here so that you can open this up, and this gives you access to the gas cap. Now, on the Sprinter vans and the new Transit vans, that little recess here is on this side, and this door, the front door, overlaps the recess so that you can't access the gas cap. However, ProMaster hasn't yet caught on this thing, so hopefully in their new models they will install it the same way the Sprinters and the Transits do. So because of that, I've had to go out and purchase a locking gas cap such as this one here, and as you can see, I can turn it as much as I want. It won't open unless I have the key. So install the key. And there you go. Place it back in after you've finished refueling. And you're good to go. So there you go. If you own a ProMaster and you're wondering why you don't have a locking gas cap, it's because they didn't put one in. So you're going to have to purchase one aftermarket style. So if you're wondering where you could purchase an aftermarket locking gas cap, I'm going to give you a little piece of advice. Do not go to your local dealership. They are extremely outrageously priced. I actually went on Amazon to see if they possibly had one for this style of ProMaster, and they did. And that cost me $29.99 on Amazon. Very economical. All right. Now that we've got these slick locks installed, The next part of the security process is, how do I secure these back doors from the inside? And the reason why I say that is because out here, our winters are very wet and cold, and as a result, we get a lot of freezing and thawing in the process. And what happens is, although these slick locks come with this very thick protective rubber coating to protect the locking mechanism, in behind it here, when this lock has been placed on, there is a little bit of a gap in between the doors and the back of the lock here, which allows some water to drip through. And in the winter, that water from the rain is going to freeze, and there's a very high potential that these locks are going to end up freezing on you, and you won't be able to unlock them to get into your van. So for that reason, I had to come up with a solution for the winter whereby I can still lock my doors from the inside and still have my van secured. So after many hours of searching the internet, I actually came up with a solution whereby I could secure my rear doors from the inside with the pre-existing hardware without having to do any drilling. And I found these locks here. Now they come with 2 plates. This is 1 plate. I already have 1 plate installed, which I will show you. And then I'll show you the installation process of the second plate to show you what the finished product looks like. But I found these plates on Amazon, and they weren't very expensive. I think at the time of purchase, something like around 58 bucks Canadian. But as you can see, they come with pre-existing holes in them so that you can use them with your pre-existing hardware on your doors. No drilling. So as you can see up top there, that is the first plate I had installed already, and you can see it takes 3 bolts from the existing hardware to lock that plate into place. And what we're going to do now is install the second plate. So what you're going to need for the installation of these plates is a T30 bit. And the installation process is quite simple. And even though the instructions are a little bit sketchy for the installation that come with the process, these plates can only go one way. So once you take them out of the package and you line them up, you can easily see where each plate actually gets installed. It's not that hard. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to loosen up this screw up top here, the top right screw. And that screw lines up with this bracket right here. All right, so once you've got that screw unloosened, what you want to do is you want to place that bracket in there like that. And then just tighten it enough to hold that bracket in place. Just like that. Now the reason why I didn't unscrew all 3 screws at the same time is because if you do, this locking mechanism here that comes with the van that locks into place to secure your back locks, it comes off. And to get it back into place is extremely difficult. It's going to take quite some time. All right, now that you've got the other 2 screws removed, and this one is holding this plate in here, now what you can do is you maneuver this locking plate into place, line up the holes, and put the other 2 screws back into place. Now, as you just saw, I tightened them up using my fingers because what you don't want to do is secure it tightly yet, because this hole here on the side is going to have to line up with the other plate so that you can put in the locking mechanism. So you need it a little bit loose so that if you have to, you can maneuver it to line them both up. All right, so as you can see, I've just closed the doors from the inside. This is the plate we just installed. And looking at it right now, I can see that, yes, indeed, those two holes line up. Now what I can do is I can stick the locking pin in, and I'm going to try to attempt to open the door. So as you can see, yes indeed, that installation hardware does work, whereby it does secure your doors from the inside. So if you're looking for a solution whereby you can lock your doors from the inside rather than the outside, this is going to be your solution. Okay, so just to remind everybody, this is the Blue Bay high-strength steel tailgate rear door lock break-in protection kit for the ProMasters between the years of 2016 to 2023. And as you can see, it does have a powder coating on there for anti-rust protection. And let's remember, there is no drilling in the installation process. You simply use the existing hardware that comes with your van. Okay, folks, so there you have it, the installation of the Blue Bay rear door protection kit. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below. And if you have any other ideas that you may have come across, hey, get those down below as well. For now, we're going to tackle the last existing problem for securing your van, and that's the front doors. So let's get to that. All right, so the last part of the security of this van are the two front doors here. Now, after researching and looking up all the different types of security measures that people use that are out there for securing their front doors, just about all of them required some sort of manipulation on the doors, which meant drilling. And again, no, not having that. So I needed to find another solution whereby I could secure the front doors without having to do any sort of drilling or anything. And after looking around, I noticed on somebody's YouTube channel that they were using a solution which fit the bill. However, for my doors, their solution didn't work out because there aren't any places to attach what they were using. And I'm going to show you in a second here what they were using. But I did notice right here that there's a little plug. It's a rubber plug, and there's a hole right here. Let me bring you closer. So there you go. There's a small little hole in the metal right here, and that hole is going to suit the purpose for how I'm going to secure my two front doors. Let me show you. All right, so there's the solution that I've come up with. As you can see, we've got a chain right here, but this is not just an ordinary chain. This is a 70 grade chain, which is used by those tractor trailers to tie down equipment on their flatbeds. So it's a high tempered steel chain, very difficult to cut through with bolt cutters. And on the end of it, you can see what I've done here. I've locked the end link on this high tempered S-lock right here. And the end of this S-hook right here goes into that hole I just showed you in the front door, and I'll show you that a bit later. But for now, I'm going to show you that this is what I've done. So I've hooked on the link on the end of this one, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a hammer to knock this end of the S-hook down to here so that it locks the link in place. And there you have it, locked in. Now we can secure the two front doors from one end to the other with this link. All right, so this is how that installation is going to happen. You simply take the open link, put it in there just like that. Let me bring you a little closer so you can have a better look here. So it looks just like that. Then what you do is you take the chain over to the other door, which has the exact same setup, and then you lock it into place with a lock such as this one here. Now this one here is a lock that is very difficult to cut through as well. This is a 9-grade lock, and as you can see, it has a hex locking mechanism there. This is high strength, tempered steel, very difficult again to cut through, and you simply lock the 2 links into place in the middle of your seats. Anyone trying to get in through the door, yes, they'll get through the existing door locks, but as soon as they try to pry the door open, there's no way they're opening the door. Okay, so as you can see here, that chain is now hooked onto that driver's side door, and it goes all the way over to the passenger side door and locked in the center by that heavy-duty lock I showed you earlier. Now, as we're going to go outside and we're going to pull on those doors to see whether or not we can get in. Okay, so let's check this out. Nope, nothing doing. There you have it, folks. That chain and lock solution really does work. And on top of that, any would-be thief looking in through your window will see that the chain is securing those 2 front doors. And once you've got the front door secured, as I just showed you, you simply go out the side sliding door, and then once you've exited through that door, you put on your slick lock on the exterior. And now you've got every door secure tight. Okay, folks, there you have it. Those are my solutions for securing all my doors, which don't require any cutting or drilling. Now, if you have any other solutions which I may not have thought about, please leave them in the comments down below. I'll be sure to have a look at that. I may alter, change some of my solutions. But for now, if you're looking to secure your doors without cutting or drilling into them, I think these are some pretty viable solutions. So let me know what your thoughts are. Leave them down below. So that's it for me. Take care. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to my channel. And don't forget to smash that like button. See you on the next video, folks.